Okay, opening the meeting at 1:01. Accepting the agenda as it's written. Okay, and I'll read the announcement. Oops, I gotta get Lucy in. So this is Nikki Rowland, Chair of Historic Structures Advisory Board. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Angus?
Here.
Brooke?
Yes.
Jason?
Yep.
Lucy, can you hear us? Not, maybe not. Okay, so Lucy is attending but not quite able to speak. Brooke, I'm going to make you a co-host.
Okay.
So that if
So I can share.
well, it's mostly so if you keep an eye on the participants, pop out the participant screen, and if somebody's trying to join and I don't see them, you can let them in.
All right.
See at the bottom, participants. Click on that,
All right.
and it'll pop out. You can set that aside. So moving on.
Excuse me, Mickey, can you hear me now?
Yes, we got you, Lucy. So
Okay.
great. Now we have Lucy back on. So no anticipated speakers and no staff. This open meeting of HSAB is being conducted remotely pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021. For this meeting, HSAB is convening by video conference Zoom app. As posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join in. Participants may find information on the conduct of this meeting at that location. Note this meeting is being recorded and each vote is done by roll call. So on the agenda, we are starting with 4 Angola Street. And I can probably find that. I think. Nope. Getting there, hang on. All right, that's not it. That's not it. That should be it. Okay, 4 Angola Street. Here's the location. Site plan. They're adding a outdoor shower, and I'm pretty sure that's all they're doing. Outdoor shower, all natural to weather, not visible from street, they say. So here's the location. It's on the back behind this bay. Right next to the window.
Yeah.
So I don't have, anybody have a problem with this one?
No.
No, it just looks like they're setting up a pre-made thing.
I appreciate them nestling it into a back and side corner obstructed by a bay window.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be visible.
Yeah, we'll call this one no concerns, I think. So next we have 10 Quince. Shingles and clapboard. Oh yeah. This one they did some investigating and discovered that the entire building was already had been clapboarded at one time. This is halfway up Quince on the left going up the hill. They just want to put clapboard painted white. Let's talk about that on the front. It's a pretty old building. I don't know what the date is. Did they say?
It's already there.
It's already there. The clapboard?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Well, it was, when you see the pictures. So you can see it was shingled over the clapboard. And they've got that on a couple different faces. I guess not on this side. I'm not sure which side of the house this is. Presumably, if it was on the sides, it was also on the front.
I went up there, I think it was yesterday morning. And they didn't have the exposed area that you have on the screen now, was not visible on the front. You couldn't see anything. It looks like you could see a little bit of the clapboard at the far back left-hand corner. Near the driveway.
So I don't know, is this a garage or something? What is, no, it's a fence. So it's just a big, okay, big rambling building.
That would be the only clapboard one on the street.
Okay. You know, in the past, we've always said, fine, if they can prove that it was clapboard. Does anybody have a different opinion than that?
No, but it would be really nice if they could try to conserve the clapboard if it does exist under the front, because it's probably a really nice, it could be a nicer older hardwood or something, but they did that on a house on Orange Street. When they unveiled, they took the shingles off, and the one that's kind of like an ochre color.
Oh, Judy Lee's house.
Yeah, I believe they kept the it was the, it was, they didn't replace the clapboard. They used.
Well, that'll certainly depend on the condition of the clapboard. I think we can recommend it. It's,
It's a photo, but it looks halfway decent there on that side bit, but.
it does, and this was maybe up against a corner board, which is gone, this edge.
I'm trying to understand where these pictures were taken.
I know.
I mean, was that gas hookup really on the front of the house?
Not necessarily.
No, I think it's on the back, standing on the street. I think it's on the back left-hand side.
I'm just trying to understand where these photos were taken, because if we're talking about the front, it shows one face that runs in about 6 inches set back
Yeah.
from the next face.
Yeah, that maybe that's here, which is, you look in one of these pictures, it shows the very beginning, maybe this sliver down here is that dark tar paper. I don't know where they started peeling it back.
I think that is where that must have been.
Yeah.
Be interesting to know what the original color of the clapboard was.
Yeah. Well,
I
when we
mean-
think about white, let's say they get the clapboard, are we okay with white? Sounds kind of odd for Quince Street.
Yeah, they should go for a more muted color.
Isn't there usually a color for the clapboard?
Well, they asked for, what Angus?
Isn't there usually a color like a blue or a gray or a yellow, or, I mean, how often do we have white clapboard?
Yeah, Main Street, there's probably a handful of houses that are white
India too.
in India. But this is not Main Street. I'd be happy to suggest a different color other than white. Let's first say, does anybody have any concerns about them putting clapboard on the front?
No,
I wish I were seeing pictures of the clapboard being exposed on the front, and it looks like the photographs are not of the front. So I'm a little bit concerned of whether there was clapboard there to begin with.
Well, it's hard to imagine that it back then that they would clapboard the sides and leave shingles on the front. It's usually the other way around. So I'm fairly comfortable because it follows our normal standing that if there was clapboard at one time, then it's generally okay.
But do you know what I'm saying? The pictures aren't of the facade. They're
know.
from somewhere else.
Yep.
And I also think on a side street like this, to have the white clapboard with the shingled sides of the house isn't really fitting in for
Yeah.
Quince Street. And then you've got that bright blue door, which with a more muted color scheme or
Mhm.
with shingles, you can get away with that door. But if you've got the white clapboard and the blue door, I mean, this is gonna like stick out like a beacon on the street.
I agree. I think the white is not the appropriate color. What do you want to suggest? Maybe a muted, like a medium gray, or just a grayish color instead? But
Or even-
let's back up for just a second, Angus. Are you saying you don't really want to see this as clapboard?
I would like to see the shingles peeled back on the facade. We're looking at pictures that are not of what is being proposed to change to clapboard.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else have any concerns about the clapboard on the front? Behind front shingles. And what about the color? Should we just suggest a gray,
Platinum
platinum gray
gray.
would be fine? It would
That would
probably
be
look
pretty.
okay with that door, the blue door.
Yeah, that exists, right?
That's the way it is now.
So Mickey, did this building get approved for white trim?
Well,
I think it did a while ago.
why do you ask, Brooke?
Well, because gray, platinum gray with the Nantucket gray looks a little peculiar.
Yeah,
Oh, well, it
Match.
says match HTC, oh, there it is, HTC
Yeah.
approved white trim.
huh, white trim.
So definitely not white clapboard.
All right, so let's not get specific. We don't have to design this for them. Let's just say we don't want to see white. And they'll have to come up with some other, maybe have to come up with some other color. White is too formal for Quince Street.
Agreed.
All right. And then I'm going to ask that they verify that behind the front shingles, there was clapboard. Okay. All right. Anything else about this one? Moving on to the next one, which is 16 West York revisions. Oh yeah. This is back. I guess it's an infill lot on York Street. Is this a new building?
No, it's the little building next door.
It's the building next door to what?
To the lot, number 16.
No, this is a new building.
It says proposed two-story building.
Okay, well, it says number 16, right?
Well, yeah,
Well, the house next door has number 16 on it.
well, maybe it was subdivided off and this is 16B or something. It does seem to fit the appearance of this site plan.
Didn't we see this before?
It looks a little.
Yeah, with the French doors that open to the back that,
Oh, maybe.
I think we saw this before, and it was subdivided, maybe by the family.
Okay,
Yep. And all the parking.
Oh, hello.
to the side.
Can,
Yes, hi, somebody speaking?
yes, yes. Can you hear me?
I can, go ahead.
This is Jacob Martinson, the owner of the property.
Oh, good, thank you
And-
for joining us.
So this was brought to you before. We're just coming back with, we want to add 2 feet to the width of it. So changing it from 24 feet to 26 feet. That's
Okay.
the only change.
Got it. All right, well, thank you for filling that in.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Does anybody have any concerns about adding the width to this building?
No,
No,
Nor
And
I.
was, okay.
Lucy, you all right with that?
Well, I was just wondering, was the trim sash, I mean, that sashes and door and everything, that was already approved as being black?
It was, yes.
Okay, because it's the only, I believe it's the only house on the street that's got that.
Yeah,
little
black
stick.
doors. The trim is natural to weather. Sash is black. And the doors are black.
that's not what's being proposed, so.
All right, I was just asking, wasn't sure.
Got it. Yeah, okay, it sounds like we're all just fine. Jason, did you have any concerns about this? Okay. All right. I think we're good with this one. Thank you, Jacob. All right, next one is 65 Main exterior lighting. This is the bank, right?
Yeah,
Okay. I couldn't find information on the lighting. Anybody see anything I missed?
well, the type was so small, was, you couldn't,
Yeah, I mean, here's probably the information we were looking for, even though they could have provided us with some pictures.
yikes.
Yeah.
yeah,
So here are the locations for where they're replacing and adding. And there's a key up here to say where what's going on. So we have dark blue means new fixture up on Martin's or Liberty Street. And all along that side, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm a hard no. Seriously, they're trying to light up the entire street, so it's gonna be like every time you walk by, that whole area is gonna just light up like a Christmas tree.
yeah,
Go Pine Street to High Street there, where what's his face, the Ring doorbell guy. You go by that street, that automatic light turns on, and just, I mean, birds fall out of the sky when they see that thing. I'm on your
Well-
side, Lucy, on this one.
but you know, I'm with Brooke on this. First of all, let's make it clear, the bank isn't even open now because they don't have any staff. But and I just took a photograph, the after hours deposit service, which is temporarily closed, does have a light over it. And they've got the port and starboard lights on those old fixtures on the corners on the front. Everybody loves those.
Mhm.
And there is a subtle light above the front door. We have street lights. They don't need to be doing this. And without the specs, forget it. And plus with the dark sky stuff, I
Right.
mean, you would see this all the way down from 0 Main. I think this is a corporate decision someone's made somewhere.
I think it's people in Texas making the decision.
Yeah.
Because it is a high crime area too.
Yeah. Especially in the
Okay.
summer.
I saw someone spit out some chewing gum there the other day. And then there was a guy that let his dog use the front yard of the Methodist church and didn't pick it up.
Oh,
Didn't make a
Oh.
citizen's arrest.
I tried, but they said hello and walked away.
Of
Just couldn't
course.
catch him.
This is a historic 1818 building that is a massive landmark. for the
Yeah.
Main Street. It does not need to be, that's ridiculous. On top of the fact, we don't even know what they're asking for. I mean,
No,
So-
it doesn't need any lighting and we don't even know what they're proposing. I mean, there should be fixture pictures and specifications and we don't have any of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, need to see what the fixtures look like. And we're not in favor of any new exterior lighting.
it says security purposes. Sorry.
Is there anything more we should be saying about this one, just to make it clear?
Well, I mean, not having the information on the fixtures, we don't know if this is up lighting, down lighting,
Yes.
you know, spotlighting. I mean, it's,
But isn't there a light
Maybe
right
reference
across
the dark sky.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna put a note that we don't know what they look like and they need to expect dark skies.
I think we can talk about the quantity of fixtures as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Those
Yeah.
If there's more than 0,
You know, we just don't have any information. So I would think that, Diane, is this something that you think you can get the HDC to hold off at least until they get description on the fixtures?
Yeah, I would think we would go for a vision to get a full application with all description of the fixtures. What kind of lights? Are they dim lights? Are they gas lights, which is what is around the main street? I would think that we would hold for visions
That would be good. And to come back to
and return to you before.
Great, good. Well, thank you. I'll still include those notes, but ask for it to come back to, as I usually do. All right, so let's move on from this. There's really not much we can talk more about. Next one is 159, way at the other end of Main Street.
Good afternoon, guys. I'm here.
Oh, hi, Tori.
Hi.
Good. I'm glad you're here. Go ahead. Tell us about this one.
Pretty straightforward. There are some photographs here. That's probably the best one to look at. If we can rotate it. There you go. There's 2 existing basement windows on the left and the right, and they simply want to do an egress window well at each location.
Okay, so the size of the window wells would be the minimal egress size, I assume.
Correct.
Okay, it is on the front of the building facing Barnabas Lane, right?
Yes. Is it Woodbury or Barnabas? Barnabas. Is that Barnabas?
This is up here, it's Barnabas.
Okay. Yeah.
And Tori, what about there's quite a bit of, when I went on Street View to look at this, it does look like there's quite a bit of vegetation in the front of the building.
Yeah. Did I take a picture from farther back? I thought I did. I might be standing on the sidewalk there.
Yeah, it's not, you didn't get one of any further back.
Vegetation, yeah. I'm happy to submit that if we need to.
Well, are they thinking of changing the let me pull up the Street View. Are they thinking of changing anything in the vegetation?
No, as far as I understand, and I can confirm that.
All right.
I kind of remember that is heavily vegetated, like it's hard to see in there to even see the back building.
Because it wraps the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you are.
Right, it's down here, yeah. Yeah, so here's that corner.
Exactly.
There's the building. So, and I can't go down Barnabas to look at it from that side.
There's a front gate that goes in there. Can you scoot up to where it says Main Street on the road?
I feel like the fence was recently taken down though, just FYI.
I don't think the fence on the side, on the Main Street side,
There,
or in front.
yeah, I think part of that fence is missing now. I haven't walked up there in maybe 2 or 3 weeks, but last time I did, the fence was, I feel like the fence.
So-
Yeah,
It's vegetated, but it's leafy vegetation.
yeah, I didn't remember a fence there, Jason, but maybe I'm wrong.
You know,
So
I
this
could-
would be the kind of thing that there would be a grate over rather than a fence around.
Yes, exactly.
I don't have any concerns.
Yeah, I think these are non-historic buildings. They're not, I don't know when they were built, 60s, 70s.
70, I think, yeah.
So I would like to say that that we're okay with it as long as the vegetation is kept in place. And
Okay.
either fencing or some sort of, I guess they have to have some sort of security around the window wells anyways.
Yeah, they were proposing grates, as Angus just mentioned. I
Okay.
think.
Anybody have any concerns about this one?
No, and I think honestly, it'll probably look better than what's there.
You think it'll improve it?
So I'm okay with it as an improvement.
Okay.
It stands on its own.
Yeah, all right, we'll go with that.
Okay, thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, Tori.
Got it.
All right, so next is 12 Federal. What's that? What's that? That's not it. Here we go. This is the boarding house. And all they're doing is, I mean, they're doing a lot to the building. But at the moment, we're just looking at the landscaping, and they're just kind of cleaning up this side entrance. Actually, I think I'll take the street view down there. So there's the front, but we're going to try to go to the side. All right, here's what we have today, or sort of like this today. So they're going to plant, I'll get back to the site plan, but they're going to put one of those ivy walls, ivy hedge wall. I guess open up this gate, maybe leave this gate and put the ivy wall going back toward the corner of the building.
You mean the plastic? Is that what you're saying? Plastic ivy, those fake things you can buy online now, or real ivy?
No,
That
it's
was-
not. They're actual real ivy plants. You know,
Okay.
it's the ones they used on at the new hotel, the Martins, or the meeting house.
Okay.
So this is the ivy wall. Here's that gate. I guess they are leaving this gate on the street.
They're natural to weather, I believe. Oh, wait, no, the one in front of the dumpster is
This one?
natural to weather, I think.
Okay, well, did they say that because now it's blue or?
They said existing planting. What existing planting is there?
I think that's way in the back.
Yeah, existing planting. Existing
we-
planting. I guess it's these leaves. The fence will remain. So all that's, so it's really, I mean, even the brick sidewalk's not really changing. All we're really seeing is this new ivy wall that's changed.
I had the same concerns as Jason, because it's all hardscape there, that I think that we ought to write in a stipulation that this is actual living ivy.
So
Oh,
I'm starting to see a lot of those plastic ivy walls popping up in places.
And they're
fake-
gross.
Fake ivy?
Yeah,
Fake ivy.
Really?
yeah.
yeah.
It's not even, sometimes it's not even ivy. It's supposed to look like boxwood and it's all stuffed through stuff and it's fake. I've been seeing it in a bunch of places in town. It's plastic.
Well, I know, and I know that, you know, I know that this is going to be real stuff. Pretty sure.
If it's not, will you take us all out to dinner, Mickey?
No.
Yeah.
Motion to approve.
Do you really know?
I don't think I'm that confident about it, but pretty confident.
Can
So,
we please just stipulate that it's living?
yeah,
Yes.
And I think this is an improvement, honestly.
yeah, I think too.
Don't forget, around the corner, we had indoor, outdoor carpeting.
Where's that?
Remember, that was at the
Oh,
Robertson.
Tenth Street?
up at the top.
Remember that?
Yeah. right, must be real ivy. Got it.
And how about lighting?
How about lighting? They're not talking about lighting. That's a good question because they're gonna have lighting there, obviously. I wonder if anything is evident at the moment.
That's right.
I see little spots on the building, little spotlight. So we'll just ask them what the exterior lighting is. They're proposing other stuff, but it's around the corner. I don't think we're gonna, I don't think you can see past the corner of the other building. So they're doing bluestone, it looks like in here. The lift, the accessible lift is back here. That's staying. I don't know if any of you've seen that. It's pretty glaring when you walk back in. There's this tall glass structure. So they're doing other work in here, but we're not going to be able to see it. Here's another piece of that ivy wall. What they're proposing to do is create a rear entrance to the lower dining room of the old boarding house. And that's going to be a private dining room.
It's great that it'll be accessible.
It'll be accessible. They're going to put an interior. This lift goes to the Pearl. You'll be able to in the future walk in the front door of the boarding house, and there will be an interior lift to take you down to that lower level. But it's not going to be open to the public, as far as I'm aware. It's going to be for their elite staff members, owners, clients, friends. I'm not really sure. Yeah. So anyway, they want to improve the look of this because it's very trashy at the moment. So that, that's probably good, but we're not going to see much back there. All right, any other thoughts about this one? So we'll go to the next, which is 62 Walsh. Is Lisa here? I don't see her. It's a pretty small thing. They're changing this shed door from garage to a single with a batten shutter. So that little building is located right here, and I'm pretty sure this is Walsh. Is this maybe the dirt section of Wall Street? It's hard to tell. But anyway, anybody care about this door change?
No.
No,
I don't.
I don't mind the door change. The window seems a little busy, but I don't mind the door change.
Yeah, I didn't think about the window. I don't really care about the window. All right. Next. 28. Oh, this one is a big one. So Lisa, I guess maybe she's in Vermont with Ray. So this is the, you know which building this is? This is the one, I guess it's the one with the tree house, right, Brooke? This is the front of it, and pretty sure they're subdividing this property.
Yep.
They've already done that. The tree house is over here.
Actually, no.
Oh, it's over here. Yep. Got it. So here's the front, no real change to the front. And then here's the east side, and they're probably removing this whole rear wing, although I'm not sure they've actually said that, but it seems like a lot if they're not. So it's all new. I don't know, she's not saying this has changed, so maybe it's the same structure, just, they're adding the shed.
The windows are in different location on the second floor. And that's a new
Everything is different about it. Yeah, it's a total gut. If it's staying, it's being really redone. So here it is facing the back, and we all know that Rose Lane is back there. And probably Brook, probably pretty visible from Rose Lane.
You know, that's kind of, you know, okay, just for the record, I am, you know, more or less a direct butter. I was notified by the HTC. I will say that there is what, I think it's at least a 6 or 7 foot fence along Rose Lane. And I don't know that you will be able to see anything unless you're on your tippy toes looking over into this backyard. You will see the upper doors and the railing that comes out on the second floor. But I think that the doors on the first floor, even on the east elevation, may not be visible at all.
All right, so Brooke, thanks for that inside information. I'm going to probably ask that you abstain from the rest of the conversation. So, so here it is facing west. So obviously they're adding this grade level. They're also changing the grade here. You can see they've lifted the grade up to get access to this without all those stairs. I think that Brooke is right. I think that this is going to have minimal visibility. Of course, if that fence comes down, that would change. But I think we should consider it visible, but not in a, you know, it's not like it's facing the front of the building, the street.
Do we have any data on the existing L off the back of this house?
Nope.
Yeah, because I would assume that's an original kitchen L, given the size of the house.
Yeah, I don't see any other supplemental information except for the drawings.
Having walked through that entire building on the inside, everything in the as-built is original, except for the little bump out, that odd little bump out on the south elevation.
What
Okay,
looks like a
here's-
sleeping
here's-
porch.
Yeah, this is existing. Yeah, everything here is new, obviously, totally redone. What is this? What is this, Brooke?
It's an elevator.
It's an elevator?
Yeah.
Okay. That's staying. And this, yeah. Okay, so looking at the back of the house again, this is the big, not that it's that big, but it's the most visible section. I don't think that even the west and the east are going to be super visible. Oh, well, the east, I mean, the east, of course, will be. The west in the back, I don't know how, I don't think you're going to see too much around the corner toward the back of this to see these doors, in other words. My thought was, I don't actually even mind this French door greenhouse. That's not, maybe the detailing may not be perfect, but it's not that unusual an addition to have a sunroom addition. What I didn't like was the repetition of French doors here and French doors there. To me, this was the problem, not so much the sunroom. So
I think those actually are different there, Mickey. The lower ones have a panel below and the upper ones look like they're full.
Yeah.
15 light or to 10 light, whatever. And that I would either shingle the porch or put a panel so that, I mean, it's out of character with the whole structure. That detail could be on any house anywhere. So I think, the windows that are shown are good proportion, but the doors are, I don't think appropriate.
I agree, because I was going to suggest they change this to a single 12 light, because I think that would just fit in better with this look. It kind of gives them almost the same thing. It's the master bedroom. The other thing to note is that this wall, this kind of awkward large shed thing is only 6 inches back from the see it right here?
Yeah, God, I
on that
hate that.
table. So it's really going to read as one wall surface, more or less. And the other thing I was going to suggest is they just push this wall down the page a couple of feet to give us more of a break here.
Like a foot.
I was going to say a couple feet, yeah.
Well,
But
that'd be preferable.
yeah. So it's an awkward roof line to begin with. It's the back of the building. Stuff like that sometimes happens. Doesn't bother me that much.
Mickey, can you go to the west view?
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah, you can see right here, it's just on the edge. So if they can, it's just they'll lose a little bit of closet space or bathroom areas. I think they can figure that one out. And it'll sit better. This is another shed roof. You can kind of see that up in here. It'll sit back well further behind that. I think it'll just give the whole elevation, the whole back of the house a little better definition. So they are proposing this areaway. It's on the side and it's near the back. That didn't bother me too much. And I guess this is a new window. So I'll open it up. Does anybody have any concerns that I haven't brought up or talk about the stuff I brought up? Lucy?
Yeah, the basement door, the little door that they're taking out.
Oh, on the other side?
Yeah. I'm sorry to see that go. There are a number of those on India Street.
Right here. Oh yeah, it's a real
Yeah.
shorty. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice old fashioned touch that you would never be able to put, build today.
Yeah.
And when they take out a window, are they going to reuse it somewhere else?
That never seems to happen.
I know. I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah. I doubt they're proposing it. Which windows were you talking about? These up here? These guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really not happy with the triple windows right there. I think they're above the kitchen sink.
Yep. So is there a window schedule? J. Yeah. They're not saying reuse existing window anywhere.
It
So
should be.
So it's all new windows.
looks like it's all new windows. We could ask them to do that.
Do a window survey.
Well, to just reuse the windows they're proposing to remove.
Definitely, please do that.
Yeah.
But what about the rest of the windows throughout the house? They're not replacing those, are they?
No. Good question. Let's see the front. These are existing A and down. Existing A. So let's see what this says. Existing. It doesn't look like they're saying to change them. EXA still says existing.
It looked like those windows that are flanking the door on the second floor were sized the same as the existing second floor window. So it'd be great if those could get reused.
On the west east, and this one, these over here.
Yes. Well, yeah, either there or the ones on the south side.
Yeah, so these might possibly be the same size as these guys. And then in the south, Yeah, they can't, it's not, well, yeah, there's a number of opportunities to reuse windows.
I was thinking about the ones on the east being used here for the south, but they could be reused on the east because they're two windows going and two windows coming back.
Yeah,
Yeah, and if they got the old glass, it'd be great.
yeah. Yeah, well, I think we can request they reuse the existing windows. Anything else on this one?
Yeah, I would make a recommendation to put AC units under the porch.
To do what?
Put the AC units under the porch.
Oh, under the porch.
Yeah.
Well, they're not applying for any yet. Should we just reserve that until they do? Because I'm sure we're going to see a landscape plan on this one.
Okay. And another thing I would like to point out, though, it's that the front stoop on this house has the really low railings between the two pillars, which is a nice touch. I'd hate to see that go.
Yeah, me too. But they're not proposing to change.
I
it.
know. I'm just pointing it out, though.
Yeah. Okay, then you wanted to keep that small door.
As do I.
At least.
And you can add me to the list.
Yeah, okay. What is it? So I probably don't have a basement plan.
No, it's just a easier access and probably also later on for coal or stuff too.
So we don't know what they're doing down there. I'm sure they want the
But
light.
every bedroom's getting a bathroom.
Oh, yeah. Can't
course.
share.
No way. Okay, anything else on this one?
I'm against the whole obliteration of the original kitchenelle, especially since we don't know the date of it. But I know I'm in the minority. I mean,
Well, I don't think.
do we even have the date of the house? I mean, this house has really not been touched. And these people are coming up and basically just blowing up half of the house's history. I can get really
Well,
crotchety.
we'll ask the
going
date.
for retain
Not that
my-
they're gonna care, but what is the date of the addition, of the rear addition?
Is there a date for the house too?
There's nothing provided
See,
here.
that's not, I mean, they shouldn't even be able to apply if they don't have the date of the house.
Well, let's
Well-
look, it may be on the application. And it
I
does.
saw that Mary and Rita are with us. Maybe they have some insight in the back L.
Yeah, well, this is Rita. The house itself is 1836. And I'm looking at a historic photo that's dated to the 1880s, which looks like it shows the back L sort of an oblique view of it, looking substantially the same.
Rita, can you put that in the chat? The
Sure.
picture?
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at it in a book.
Oh. What's that?
But Jason, I share your concern about the loss of the back L if it's original to the house or close to it. If it's an
It's
age.
being sacrificed for a master bedroom when there's how many bedrooms already in the house?
Well, even so, I mean, if there's a way to figure out how to keep the existing fabric and work with it with whatever plan they want to go with. I mean, we don't really have control of the inside, but
Right.
certainly the envelope.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not in favor of the loss of that window either on that side that you have the adding of that window. I mean, there's this symmetry thing that's going on with the original part of the house where the windows are. What is that window even needed for?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not that concerned about that window. It's not a really foreign element, and I hear what you're saying, but it's a change, and we do allow some changes to houses. We can't just say you can't touch your
Right,
house.
no, but it's just like, if you look at the back of it, you don't see that L, there's no part of that L that's even there. because they've blown out the sides of it too.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
like somebody blew it up with a bicycle pump. It's just not. I mean, the kitchen is the heart of the home. The chimney's gone. It's just like.
I agree with
1830s
Jason.
kitchen. Who needs it? I mean, it's just gone.
Could I ask or say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Mary.
Thanks. So I just put in the chat and I will submit this to Holly for anybody who's watching this later. I did put a link to the information about 28 India that was in the, the house interior survey that PIN and NPT did. And it's a section from the Wesco Acres lot book. And I think that's what Rita was just referring to. You can see there's some photos there. Thanks, Mickey, for pulling that up. It's very clear that this is a historic building, and I do think it's it would be great if this application had included any of this very easily accessible history with it. So those are my thoughts on that.
Thanks. This is interesting just to look at.
It looks clear. It looks to me, with not knowing much of anything, that kitchenelle was put there as part of the original. And then at some point they added on the bump out that goes to the left side of it, which would have been like a sleeping porch, which would fit within the late 19th, early 20th century. And then they kind of closed it in later, just the way it's sitting there. Such a shame.
Rita, did you say there's a picture that showed the back of the building, or is this it here maybe?
No, not the back, just kind of the side. And it didn't have that side porch, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's obviously a rear addition here. And what's the date on this? Do we know? 1900, no. Well, all right, so we're talking about the rear wing. I guess I'm wondering how we're going to try to phrase something saying,
Well, maybe just to provide more information about the age and significance of the rear L. And that's a concern, to save it if it's significant.
Mary, did you ask, or did you look and see if there were any photographs from Rose Lane? Nope.
Sorry, I will look. And also just to note too, that tree house it does not really exist because that tree blew over, as you may know.
Yeah, it was a demo job.
yeah. So I'm open to any suggestions if anybody can come up with a sentence and how to phrase this rear wing problem. Angus?
Oh, well, just what I was suggesting is, I think we want more information provided about the rear L. And I think what we're finding out, and from independent sources, not from the applicant, is that it is significant. And we'd prefer to see the building envelope retained and work within that, not within it, but I mean, you can still add on, but not for it to be removed, which is what's slated.
We're gonna, except for the interior, I'll go back to that. They're probably gonna say Well, we're keeping that rear wing, we're gutting it, but they're keeping it. Oh, I keep losing it, sorry. I have to do one more thing to get back to it. All right, share. Now. Okay. So let's see if this is, excuse me. So is this the same roof line? And I'm going to say probably not. This does not, this almost looks like an uneven roof pitch somehow, but maybe it's not. But this, I don't know, it's
It's
possible.
a longer reach, and if you look at the, how that gable relates to the skylight before and after,
Oh yeah,
it's different.
you're right, totally different. Yeah, it's bigger, taller.
I would say that this is intended to be completely rebuilt.
Yep. I think you're right.
Do you want to check the floor plan?
Well, this floor plan, I think was, this wall appears to be roughly in the same place.
Just gross.
It's, yeah, because before it returned along parallel to, or it's an extension of this wall. So they've made it this much wider. So yeah, I mean, maybe a few rafters on this side are staying, but that's probably about it. Everything else is going to be changed. This actually, they're showing this wall does already exist in this relationship.
It looks like they're losing a bedroom too, having a
Well, that
double
return on the
master
back
bath.
L, where there's symmetry around the fireplace existing, all that's lined up with the hall walls in the front hall.
Yeah.
And it no longer exists in the new, yeah.
Right.
We're losing the kitchen L's chimney so they can have a balcony. Sorry.
I agree with you, Jason.
I'm so fed up. I just don't want to do this anymore. Nobody cares. It's just appalling. This house has existed since 1830, 1836, almost untouched. And it's just like, sorry.
Well, in terms of what we can do, we can say we want to preserve the chimney. And all they'd probably do is tear it down and put a fake one on top. Of course, it would be right over a door, so that wouldn't work.
I don't think we have to figure it out, but I think what is important to us is retaining as much of the historical integrity of the structure, at least the envelope.
Yep. All right, I am going to try to come up with some words to.
Did you say anything about what they're doing to changing the topography on the back? 'Cause I'm assuming they're just sloping up the yard to meet
Yeah,
the
they
back
are.
doors. That's not appropriate. I
Well,
don't think,
I
especially when you look at those images of the backyard. I'll stop. I'm just gonna go someplace and cry.
is this the property they're also proposing to add that hot tub to? The spa?
I believe it is.
I think it is too. Elizabeth O'Rourke brought one in for spa back here.
That should be shown on this plan.
Yeah, it's not.
Boy, that lot is really cuts close to the rear corner of the building.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I assume that's staying, those relationship is staying.
Why
Okay.
would you second floor balcony to
You
look
know,
at?
I think what I'll do is I'll, before sending this out to the general masses, I'm gonna send it to you guys. And then if you have any changes to my phrasing of it, get back to me right away. And I'll re-edit that. I think the general thought is that we really would like to see as much of the rear wing preserved as possible, but so as you say, as much as possible, they say it's not possible.
I know.
Well, and so often, these Ls are sort of remodels that happen much later, but when they're original or somewhat original or 150 years old, yeah, it's such a waste. And I don't think it's responsible to remove it.
Well, I think we all agree with that, and I certainly do. The problem is, I'm not sure literally what the HDC can do to control that, other than keeping windows and chimneys. And I mean, they can't say you can't gut the interior. We all know that.
No, we know that, but the problem is I just feel like nobody seems to have any teeth or not care. There's like working with people, but I think we've gotten to the point that as a general rule, everybody works with the owners, but the owners don't work with the historic property. They just want to do what they want to do. I'm sorry, I'm at my breaking point. There is no respect for the past. And these people, when they die, this house isn't theirs anymore. It goes on to somebody else. If they're not, you're the steward, you're not taking it with you when you go. And so they're leaving the mess behind for an obliterating history for our future generations until we're drowning due to climate change. But I mean, you buy a historic property. I mean, other places in this country, other places in this world, like you buy a historic property, you have to work within the limitations that are there. And here we just seem to let everybody just blow everything up, and then like, oops, oh, we threw out all the windows. Sorry. There's just, I don't know.
And
Sorry.
we're losing a lot of chimneys too.
Yeah, I mean, we're losing a ton of historic fabric and exterior wise too. I mean, there's just houses that have been so messed with now. I walk by and I don't know, I don't recognize them anymore. I mean, like, oh, there's no window in the stairwell. Well, there weren't windows in stairwells because it was a passageway. It wasn't meant to sit on for 5 hours and look, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know. There's not it's not just not an understanding. There's not of a respect, I guess.
Well,
I mean, people did stuff to this house. I mean, they added what probably was, like I said, a sleeping porch and whatever. And that's kind of weird looking, but it also talks about the evolution of the house. They kept the L and they just plunked something on the side of it.
yeah, the problem is people have too much money. I mean, this island was pretty well preserved when people didn't have money to make changes. And now that everybody has so much money, it's really changing in a
So
big
did
way.
everybody see the bar in one of the front parlors?
See
Go to the
what?
first, go to the first floor plan.
How it's like,
See the bar in one of the front parlors?
oh
Right there.
geez, I did not see that.
I saw that one. I was like, whoa.
Yes.
How does everybody even think of that?
Well, the good news is that the first floor main rooms are they resemble what they always have been. So
Yeah,
that's
hopefully they'll be able to pull that bar out in the future, hopefully. Okay, I'll try to come up with something. Let me know right away if I miss or you want to add something to it. It's a tough one. All right, anything else on this house? Because that's the last one. All right. Anything else anybody wants to add? I wanted to make a comment to Diane. Diane, when you're making your motions at the end of an application to the HDC, when you say basically motion for revisions.
Right.
Quite often it'll come out and it'll be motion to revisions and also go back to HSAB, which is good. But I think in some cases, when the board has discussed, especially HSAB, I'm thinking this from our perspective. When you request revisions, if you could ask that the revisions include, retaining the chimney or include.
We do that, Mickey.
I know you do, but quite often, more often than not, it's just requests for revisions, and it doesn't really tell the applicant exactly what it is the HDC is looking for. And they come back and they're going to go with the least common denominator. They're going to just keep trying until they get what they want.
I understand that. I will, if it goes to that on tomorrow night, I will do that. I try and do that most of the time, unless they have written that. It depends on the architect. An architect like Joe Paula, he writes it all down and he knows what we're talking about. I don't know who is the architect on this, but I will make sure that it's put in, and I will either make the motion, or if somebody gets ahead of me, I'll ask that it be added. And usually they do that.
Yeah, I'm also thinking about projects that we are seeing repeatedly with very little change. And there's, the one on Easy Street, the commercial building on Easy Street.
We have asked for changes every time he's come, every time.
But are you asking, when you make the motion for revisions, are you saying and lower the building 2 feet and get rid of the balcony? Because that would help direct him, because that's part of the motion.
Right. I'm sure we do, but I will double check. That's Matt McKecken, and he knows what we're about.
I know he does, but he keeps coming back with the same stuff. But we're not talking about that project now. So let's is there anything else anybody wants to add or bring up? So I'll accept a motion to accept the comments.
Wait, one thing, Mickey. If those ivy walls, if they're plastic, get your credit card out.
I've got the comment in the
Okay.
in the
And
comment.
that'll be at the boarding house?
We want the
Diana's
private
somewhere.
dining room.
You could Google them. They're on Amazon. You can buy them on Amazon, Mickey.
All
Well,
right.
I will make sure that when it goes in and we approve that thing, I will say specifically the ivy wall. I want to see a picture of it. I want it on the application, and that is to be real live vegetation.
Perfect. Great. Thank you.
Does anybody know what happened about the Cotopa tree on York
No.
Street?
On where?
It was,
On York.
Schulich's other tree.
it was supposed to go to Board of Selectmen, but I don't know.
It went to the tree committee, but it went to the tree committee when we were having our meeting, and so I couldn't be at both. So I don't know what happened. I haven't seen it.
They passed it to the Board of Select Board.
Good.
Diane.
Good. It's criminal
Mhm.
to cut down these trees.
Yeah. For houses.
So
Okay. Thanks, Diane. Is there a motion to accept the comments
So
Yes.
moved.
by Lucy, seconded by Brooke?
Yes.
Right? Thank you, Brooke. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 And a motion to adjourn,
Yes.
and seconded by Brooke.
Second.
All those in favor? Thanks, everybody.
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks,
Aye.
Mickey.
Yeah, thank you, Mickey.
Alrighty.
thank
Thanks,
you.
Diane.
See ya.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Thanks, Diane.
Bye.